I am filled with fear, says this undocumented single mother of 3 who understandably does not want to be identified. She works at night, she says, to care for her children during the day. But since a recent federal raid nearby, she's afraid to return to her after-hours restaurant job. She is not alone. Over 76% of residents here in West New York identify as Hispanic and almost 60% as foreign-born. Among residents we spoke with, even those who are citizens, there's fear over indiscriminate raids.
¿Te conocen a alguien que tiene miedo?
No, hay mucha gente, tú sabes.
Mucha gente.
Mucha gente.
Emma Hernandez says many people are scared and staying inside, a sentiment echoed and visible everywhere on the normally bustling Bergen Line Avenue. The fear has an economic toll as well. At the popular Farolito restaurant, lunch was unusually slow. This weekend, something happened that never happens. She says nobody came to eat. Magdalena Cedeno says her customers called to tell her they are too afraid to leave home. And if her dwindling sales don't improve next month, I'll have to close. A corrosive trend to what experts say is the $200 billion GDP of Hispanics in New York and New Jersey.
My members are feeling right now that some of the restaurants and public-facing businesses are seeing a slowdown in customers coming into the business out of fear.
This mother's fear began long ago, escaping violence that killed much of her family in Tela, Honduras. She says she hitchhiked with her children to Puebla, Mexico, where she lived for years until a close friend's 3 children were kidnapped and killed by the Zeta cartel. They were young, she says, 15, 16 years old, and they returned the bodies on Mother's Day. Fleeing that fresh horror, she crossed into the U.S. with a large group of migrants settling in New Jersey 2 years ago. She paid a lawyer $4,500 to get her working papers. He did nothing, she says. So much of a life lived in peril, and now too afraid to leave her apartment for work, for groceries, send her children to school, or even let them play outside. The federal raid that surprised the residents of the building behind me last weekend is still very much on the minds of residents here. Yet city officials tell us that was a targeted raid. They were looking for a specific suspect they didn't find, and no one was arrested. Yet the fear persists.